Hey everyone, so expiration dates and best by dates, are they really necessary? Do you really need them? Should we be using them on the regular? Should we pay attention to them? What do you guys think? Well, stay tuned and we're going to have a little chit chat. Okay, so I wanted to come on tonight and talk about this. It is a subject that is, to me, almost annoying, because if you watch YouTube or you talk to your friends, everybody has an opinion on this. So are they really necessary? Are they not necessary? Is it expired by that date? Is that the date to buy it? If that's the best buy date, how much longer do you have? These are all the questions that I get asked. I'm sure you question in your own head, like, what do we do? What do we do? So here's a package of noodles. All right, noodle cups. The expiration date or the best by date, whatever you want to call it, is November 24th of 2022. Now, I bought this about a week ago, so I probably bought this the last week of December. So we have about a year. A little less than a year if you want to go exact, but about a year on this particular product. I have a story to tell you about this product. My question to you is, do we want a science experiment? I got a story to tell you. Okay, so here's the scoop. New year, fresh start. I'm telling you, I got stuff. I got stuff going on. I had some interesting news today on my job, and it's just made me even more inspired that I'm going to have a successful year this year. I don't know exactly what successful will equate, but I'm going in it with the right attitude, and I'm going in it with, I am changing things in my life that are stressing me out, that are annoying me, and that I just want to change. I want a fresh start in a lot of areas, and I just really feel God moving in my life in a lot of ways. And what I can't control is the big stuff right now, because I don't know what my plan is or what my future is and what my 2022 will hold. But I can change the everyday, normal, smaller things in my life, one bite at a time, right? That's what we're going to do. And I'm taking stock of my stockpile. Now, we can call it a stockpile, we can call it a pantry, we can call it, extended food, or I've heard it phrased in many different ways. Long-term food storage. That's the one I really like. I know stockpile is the buzzword. So, you'll hear me use different phrases in reference to that, but this way will keep everybody happy. So I have a pantry, if you want to call it that. I have kitchen cabinets, and I have a small pantry cabinet that I use my regular food in, like my go-tos all the time. Boxed cereal, I want to grab a can of soup, can of tuna, my vegetable oil, all that stuff. That's the regular stuff I keep in my kitchen. Then I have my overflow, my stockpile, my extra pantry, my extra food, my long-term food storage. I've had it for many years. I've lived in many places. I've moved. My food has moved with me, and we've had it stored in a variety of ways, shapes, and forms. My stockpile, in terms of what I've stored in it, we've had a lot of different things that I've kept in the stockpile. But here's where I'm at. And I've shared this with you. My family size has shrunk. The styles of food we eat are different. Prices have gone up. And I'm just finding that across the board, our menu selections are different now as well. So 3 things that were stressing me out is my stockpile for a variety of reasons, my menu planning, and prep for food and cooking the food and all that kind of stuff. So, okay, who's running this household? Me. Who can make some changes? Me. Who's an intelligent woman who can put her thinking cap on and come up with some solutions. So tonight we're talking about the stockpile. Expiration dates and best by dates. And why am I mentioning all this other stuff about the stockpile? Because I'm changing my stockpile and what I store in my extra stockpile food, my overflow food. I am changing what I'm now going to store in there. I'm revamping it. In addition to that, I'm changing what I'm going to be storing in my kitchen on the regular. I will do another video on that and bring you along as I switch things out to help you guys, maybe give you some insight and or incentive. Okay, so there's that. As I'm starting to clean out my stockpile, and one of the reasons I'm cleaning it out and my frustrations, and I'll go into that more at a later time, but are things like this. So let me tell you the story behind this one. This I bought, we're doing a care package for somebody in our family that is not near where we are, and we just wanted to put together a fun package. So this is going in a care package. But years and years and years ago when I first started my stockpile, now many of you can attest, you're probably in the same boat as me. When I didn't have any money and we had no food, and I learned how to kind of juggle and organize better, I began to create a stockpile. It's beautiful. How many of us love to open the doors of our stockpile or look at the shelf? You know, even if you have a small cardboard box and you have your things in there, it's like a thing of beauty. It's a work of art. We love to sit and stare at our stockpile and, oh, isn't it beautiful? And, you know, we all do. You have to admit it. And people, you know, they post their pictures on Facebook and we do YouTubes on this and we show them the beauty of our stockpile. But here's what happened to me, and I'm sure I am not alone in this. So I had a stockpile. It was not big, little, you know, few things in it. And one of the things was this. Now what I had done is I had taken it out of this cardboard and I had just kept the cups. At least back then, we're talking 25 years ago, the expiration date was not stamped on the lid or at the bottom of the cups. It was just on the cardboard. So I put them in my stockpile. Well, the problem is because I didn't have much, well, I didn't have anything, and then I moved to I didn't have much. So the little bit I had in my stockpile, I didn't want to touch because I was afraid if I ate the food in my stockpile, I wouldn't have food anymore. It's like a mind game you play in yourself until you kind of learn how to do things better. I was a young mom. I was a young homemaker. I was young at budgeting and stockpiling. I was just young at everything. I was very immature, not as a person, but, you know, immature in life. I didn't have a lot of life experience, and this woman had to learn, and this woman has learned. So we would buy things like this, use it on the regular, but never touch the stockpile because that was like sacred. That was something I had that reserve. I had to learn you do need to rotate. But I was so afraid it was, again, when you don't have much and you finally do, you kind of hang on to stuff in a way you shouldn't be. Okay, so I did that. We went on a family vacation. We saved our pennies to go to Cape May, New Jersey, not too far from where I am. We barely could afford the hotel, and we were just doing some local things, and I needed to bring snacks for my oldest son, who's now in his 30s, who was, you know, a little guy at the time. And I brought noodle cups, thinking it's a noodle cup, right? It's just plain noodles. You know, pour some water in it, will be good. Well, let me tell you, we took the lid off. We opened it. It was a science experiment. There was this black fuzzy stuff. You know when you used to do the bread when you were in grade school and you did a science experiment, you sprinkle water on it and put a margarine cup on it, wait 3 days and take it off and see what it looks like, and you'd be like horrified? That's what was growing in here. These are not just noodles, people. There's noodles, there's vegetables, there's bouillon, who knows what else is in there, but that's what's in here. And I learned the hard way that I have now created a science experiment in my stockpile, and that has got to stop. I had to learn the hard way that, you know what, I can buy one every week, put this one in the stockpile and take the other one out. I wasn't doing that. I had become so frightened to use my stockpile that I wasn't rotating things, and that's when I had to learn a hard lesson. Now, we want to grow as a people. We want to grow as a person. We want to grow in life, and our journey will take us on a new path. The best thing you can do is when you make a mistake is pick yourself up and start all over again, and that's what I had to do. Stockpiling, when I started it, wasn't a thing. There wasn't the word, there wasn't Facebook groups, there wasn't YouTube. So I was learning as an innocent person of like, I just knew I need to have food and I needed to have extra food. And so I only had one set of cabinets. And so on the left side was my everyday and on the right side was sort of my stockpile. I don't even know if I use the word stockpile, but I had to learn what to do and how to do it. So what other kind of things have I had trouble with? These crackers, they don't have an eternity life. They are not going to live for eternity. Only we are, but not the crackers. These are fairly new, but I have bought crackers and, you know, there's not always an expiration date, and maybe on the big packaging, but not on the little. And I've said to my husband, they're good, right? Oh, yeah. I think so. What do you think? I don't know. Should we try it? And you bite it and you'd be like, it's rancid. It tastes horrible. You can't be doing that. So let me get back to our expiration dates and best by dates necessary. Here's my answer. Absolutely 100% yes. The dates that they put on a package are there to guide and direct you. Now you can argue with me, expiration date versus best by date. I don't care what you want to call it. The date is there for a purpose. Now, with that being said, how long can you go past that date? I'm not going to tell you exactly because I want you to do your own research. It is your home. You are the keeper of your home, man or woman, and you know, whether you're a family of one or a family of more, you need to feed the people that are in your home that you are caring for. Especially if you're the one caring for yourself, please take care of yourself. You are just as important as if anyone that has a larger family. And I was so glad to hear so many of you tell me when I did a video a couple days ago that you cook food like twice a week in abundance so that you have good dinners and good lunches to last you the whole week. Thumbs up to you guys. So here's the scoop. Things that are like this, things that are like this, things that are like this, I would be very cautious and very careful of the expiration dates. I'll get into that in a moment. Things that are like this have a whole lot longer shelf-stable life. Now, I'm going to say eggs. I don't have any eggs here, but if you buy a dozen eggs, there's an expiration date or a best by date. Would you have to throw the eggs out the day after that date was on there? No, you would not have to do that. I would say a week, 10 days at the most. Maybe I've gone 10 days, but usually a week. Within the week of that date, I like to use up my eggs. Now, eggs you can test. You can Google it. You can YouTube it. You can put the eggs in a glass of water, and if it stands up, if it lays on its side, if it floats to the top, it gives you a little chart if you Google it. And I've done that. If the eggs are past the date, I will test the eggs. Most times I use up the eggs very quickly, but you know, not always. You're not into baking, you're not making eggs, whatever. So you can test an egg. Things like this. This one expires 3/22. Now let me show you. You're going to see stickers like this on some of my packaging. What I do is I'm very visual, and I hate going, is there an expiration date on this? You know, sometimes you can see it, sometimes you can't. So I automatically put a sticker on here and I put the date on there. Actually, this should have been a green sticker. Let me show you, let me explain real quick. Whoop, commercial break here. I did a video on this and I will link it in the description below, but you can just, you know, look at my video list and see it. How I rotate my food. I have colors, okay? So green means go. Green is, we're good to go. Right on, got plenty of time, but I put the expiration date on it. when it's starting to get close to, well, so let me do it this way so it makes sense. Hold the ponies. Hold the ponies. Okay, this will make more sense. So I would have had the expiration date on here. We're good to go. I don't have to worry about it. Visually, I can look in my stockpile and I can see green stickers and know that I'm good. Now, with that being said, you need to go in however often you want to do it, whether it's every 2 weeks, once a month, every 6 weeks, however you do it, and you need to check your stockpile for dates. When I see that it's getting closer to the date, I'll give it a yellow sticker, kind of like caution. You know, when you think about red light, green light, yellow light, you know, when you're driving. So the yellow would be kind of like caution, like, okay, we're getting to the point you need to start thinking about using these items. So if I see this and I've gone to yellow, then I know, oh, you know what, I need to start using those items up. And I'm going to show you in a later video when I revamp my stockpile, and I'm going to talk about my new menu that I have. I've created this. I'm so excited about my menu. I am so excited. I'm going to show you that. And there's part 3 of that of container menu planning. I'm going to show you that as well. But caution, need to start prepping and thinking about it. Now, this date is March 22nd. March is weeks away. But in my life, quick, time goes by very quickly. I'm a very busy person. I have a lot going on in my life. So I might not get to my stockpile too often to check it. I might. So what I have done is I've put the brakes on. Red light, whoop, red light. Okay, I'm going to look in my pantry stockpile, in my kitchen cabinets. I'm going to see red. That means I better get on this. Girl, you got to use this food up. However you want to use it, but you need to use it up. Now, it's not till March. I have time. But for me, that's a warning. These are the things I can start instituting into my menu planning, or snacks, whatever the case might be. So, a food like this is noodles and this is meatballs. Something like this, my own personal opinion, I would not go well past that date. It's just me. I just don't feel that something like this, it is shelf stable. You do not have to refrigerate it. I just personally would not go past that date. Now, if you want to buy these and you want to freeze them, that would extend the life. That's one thing. But you want something shelf stable. I like these. Power goes out. This is something I can eat right out of the container. Family of 1, guys. This is $3, I think, or $1.99. And it's spaghetti with meat sauce. I have one as chicken and potatoes with gravy. There's a meatloaf. I don't remember. There's some other ones. Dollar General. I think you can get these at regular grocery stores. These things are delicious. They're great. They're great. I take these for lunch for work. You put them in the microwave. They're fantastic. I would not go past, because it's meat and stuff like that, I just personally would not go past the expiration date much longer. All right. I told you about my science experiment. You know what? It might be noodles, but it has other things. I will use these up by the date. So these are November. Listen, if I'm rotating properly and correctly, these would be well used before November, and I would have replaced them. Now, maybe the next one I also buy is around the same date. My sticker system. This will warn me. It's a go, it's a caution, or it's a red light. You know, kind of that's your red flag that you need to use it up. All right, so things like this. Somebody gave this to me, and this is, what's the expiration date? February 21st, 2022. Okay, that's coming up. Anything with flour, anything with like a grain or something like that, flours. Let's just say flour. I am cautious on how long past the expiration date that I would use this. That's just me. I could put this, which I will be doing, putting this in the freezer. That will extend it. If you saw my YouTube video on Dollar Tree, I went to the Dollar Tree and I'm looking over there. It's still sitting on the floor. I have to put it away. The Betty Crocker pancake mix. It was $1 for 2 pounds. Great deal. I don't need a ton of pancake mix. There's not many in my family. But if I get a good deal on it, now I'm not going to go buy 25 pounds of pancake mix, but if I can get a good deal on it, I'm going to grab it. I'm going to put it in the freezer. Good deal. Somebody gave this to me. What can I make with this? Scones, biscuits, muffins, pancakes, waffles. They even have desserts on here. They give you all kinds of recipes. You can go on their website. You can get great ideas. This is a good thing to have on hand, but I will not go past the expiration date. Now, if I'm going to store this in my pantry, I'm using it up within, me personally, very short time after the expiration date. Something like this as well. It's noodles, it's soup, it has bouillon in it, and other things. I am not going long past the expiration date. Even something like this. These, by the way, are delicious. You get them at the Dollar Tree. They make 6 good-sized muffins. I made these last night for me and the guys for a quick breakfast. Sometimes I didn't have any bananas. Sometimes I don't feel like fussing and getting the sugar and the flour and the vanilla and all. $1 makes 6 big muffins. So you're a family of 1. You make this 1 package for $1. You got 6 good-sized muffins. You're good for the week. So it's in a nice bag, you know, like it's, I don't know what kind of bag it is, but it's well protected and all that. I would freeze these if you want to keep them for a long period of time. But if you're going to say that this is something that you want to keep in your stockpile, make sure you rotate them. Listen, I'm simple. I am not complicated. We all know if we drive a car, green means go, yellow means yield, and red means put on the brakes. How simple can you get for rotating your stockpile and seeing it visually? If you have another way to do it, that's great. Things like this, canned goods, you can go way past the expiration date. I will tell you a story about mayonnaise. So I had mayonnaise. And we were on this mayonnaise kick, got a bunch of mayonnaise, used some of it. My mom needed some. Bottom line is I ended up with 2 jars of mayonnaise, and it was about 6 weeks after the expiration date, 4 to 6 weeks. And I needed to use mayonnaise. And I looked at the jar and I thought, kind of looked gray. So I Googled. I said to my husband, it doesn't look good to me. I Googled. And Google told me if it was in the refrigerator, you could go way past the expiration date. But if it was not in the refrigerator, then you could only go this far past the expiration date. Lesson learned. I don't keep mayonnaise on hand anymore. Like I said, my patterns of eating are changing. My husband's, things we enjoyed, things we don't want anymore, so on and so forth. Everything's changing, and your life might be evolving. You might be taking in new members of your family. Some maybe members have moved on. You might find yourself alone all of a sudden. You need to rethink, who am I feeding? What do we really use? Like, you've just ended a year. So in 2021, look at your stockpile and go, I have all this stuff that we never even ate. Why did I buy 52 bags of potato chips when I hardly ever eat them? You know, you need to reevaluate your pantry stockpile and not waste money on things that, well, it was a great deal. Well, it's a great deal, but only if you're going to eat it. If you're not eating it, then get rid of it. Pass it on to somebody else if it's still good. Potato chips, people, they go rancid. Crackers and things like that, they go rancid. Packaged items like this, you get bugs. I had one package like this that somebody gave me. I don't know where they kept it. It had months on the expiration date. Like Best By date was way into the future. And I was taking it out. I think I had it just a couple days, and I was going to pour it into a glass jar with a lid. And as I poured it, I saw something wiggling in it. It was cream of wheat. I freaked. My stomach just, to see a worm in the cream of wheat. The Best By date was well past it. Now, things like this, personally, unless you know you bought it in the store and somebody gave it to you, I definitely would freeze it for at least 48 hours, better up to 2 weeks if you could, to make sure you kill off any of that kind of stuff. But just goes to show you, not everything, even at the Best By date, is perfect if it's not been in the right room temperature, it's not been, kept in the right storage type things. Things live in things, it's just part of life. Are expiration dates and best by dates important? Yes. I talked to my husband about it the other night, and I said, they're not going to throw this on the package just because. It's a guideline. How far can you go past? Canned goods, you can go well past. I'm not going to define well past because you do you and I'll do me. I want you to do your own research. Be a smart shopper and do your research on how far past. Look up the product. You can look it up. It'll tell you how far you can go. Things like this, I would not go far. You do not want a science experiment. Crackers, I wouldn't go far. Chips, I wouldn't go far. Those are things I don't stockpile. I might have an extra bag or an extra box, but I don't have tons of that. Canned goods, whole nother ballgame. Best way to go is to put canned goods or things you can yourself. So, are expiration dates and are best by dates important? Yes, 100%. You're going to listen to people on YouTube and they're going to tell you, don't worry about it. You can go way past it. I wouldn't trust them. I would do your own research. Go on Google, call the company, and maybe make yourself a little chart. Certain things, that you keep on the regular and how long you can keep them on hand. Hope you enjoyed this video. Got lots of other things coming up. Hello to all my friends out there and a hello to all my new friends out there. Keep in touch. Keep coming in the comments. I love it. I love how many of you are answering somebody else's comments and we got this great community going here. Welcome to the Wilson community. I'm so glad you're here. Stay tuned for some great up and coming videos. We'll see you all on the next video.